Hi everyone, I'm Marieanne, the Artsie Crafter. Welcome to my channel. Before I get on with today's video, I just want to say a couple of things quickly. Firstly, for those of you who have been following my channel, you may have noticed that I haven't released a video this week until now. I usually post 3 videos a week and I don't usually advertise the fact because, if I don't get around to doing 3 videos a week, I don't want you to be expecting there's going to be 3 videos a week. So just in case some weeks I can't do 3, anyway, at the beginning of this week I haven't been able to do any videos because the days have been taken up with family matters, which hasn't left me any spare time to do any crafting. On Monday my husband went into hospital for day surgery, and then Tuesday he spent recovering at home. And then on Wednesday, our dog Bachi went into the veterinary hospital. He had x-rays and other tests to find out exactly what's causing his coughing fits. And I was the designated driver and recovery nurse for both my boys. And a job I take seriously, very seriously actually. So you can see that it's been a bit of a traumatic week so far for my families. Yes. So the other thing I need to say is that I want to offer my sincerest apologies to any of you that have tried to download any of my last 3 freebies and weren't able to. One of my pet hates is, whenever the software updates on your programs or computer, or other devices, whatever it is, more often than not, it tends to change some of the settings. And a lot of the time, you don't know it's happened until something doesn't work the way it used to, or not at all anymore. However, this time it was me who was at fault. I forgot, for some reason, I don't know why, but these things happen. I forgot to check the permission settings to allow anyone with the link I gave you to access those files. I always test the links to make sure they work, but that wasn't the problem in this case. And as I was already signed into my account and had instant access, I wasn't able to detect the problem. So I want to thank all of those viewers who let me know there was a problem so I could go and fix the issue straight away, which I did. And as far as I know, they are working fine. You can just go click on the link and download the files straight away. You don't need to get permission or anything like that, approval beforehand. So I know I'm only human and prone to making mistakes, and boy do I make some dopey mistakes, let me tell you. But let's hope I don't repeat the same mistake in the future. Anyway, okay then, let's get on with today's tutorial, shall we, and make some fun layered tags, which I've got a couple here. I was working in my journal this morning. I could get back to it now that all my boys are recovering and doing well, so get back to work on my journal. Instead of just focusing in on doing just one tag, I thought I'd show you some layered tags this time, and I'd give you some different styles or different ways of making layered tags. Here's 2 as an example, and I thought I started doing the others, and then I was going to make 1, but I thought I've got 3 others. I will just show you the process of where I've got up to now, and then I'll finish them with you. And I think that would be better, hopefully. You think so too? So this one here is a triple tag here, and I've got some little pockets here, and I should have had a little something or other to slip in. Oh, here we go. I've got something here, and it's probably too wide to slip into the little pocket. Oh no. So slip that into the little pocket there, and I just put some of that leaf trim across there. And this one has a hidden little tuck spot here, so you flip that up, and then you've got some journaling space, and it stays hidden. So that's your little secret journal tuck spot, I suppose you could call it. And on the back here, I just used a book page because this is these, what do you call them? Berries. I think they're blackberries or something like that anyway. As if you've been following this month's journal, you'll know from my journal cover, I painted some berries on there. And so to continue on with that theme, I found this in a magazine. So I thought this would be brilliant for this journal. So I put that on the front and I stuck a little ribbon and a little butterfly on there. And just these little decorative panels. This panel here is from the freebies, the last one. I just cut off the edges after it's all finished and then attach the ribbon in that. So that's that little layered tag. And this one here, I like to have a bit of fun when I'm making little, bits and pieces for the journal. So this one here I call my little bit of fun. Just a bit of whimsy sort of thing. So tags don't have to be this shape all the time to be a tag. You can make tags. This one's just got the rounded edges. I haven't cut the edges off as you would see in a classical tag shape. So this one's just my bit of fun. So I've got a little butterfly there. This here I actually got off and I haven't got it here. I must have put it away. This is actually off a coffee cup. One of your takeaway containers that you get at a coffee store. And they had that on the outside. And I thought, isn't that absolutely gorgeous? There, the little callistomen. So I'd be wanting to use that. And I thought, oh, this is spring kind of thing. And continuing on with my theme of the spring, autumn. Spring is new life, autumn is death, and death brings on new life. So this is kind of my very vague theme for this tag. So this is a dead leaf, and the dead leaf is behind the blossom. So this is allowed, the dead leaf is given nutrients to the blossom so it can flower in springtime. So that was kind of like, yes, trying to be deep and meaningful. But anyway, I don't know whether I succeeded or not. And this is just a decorative panel I put on the back here. And then, and the little butterfly, because the butterfly is floating around taking some nectar from the pollen and seeing that spring. And on the back, I just put a little torn pocket. So that's just a bit of fun you can have with your journal tags and your cards and all those sort of things. So now I've got 3 here. I'm not quite sure which one to do. I'll start with the one right in front of me. This one here, I did have measurements. This one's 3 inches by 6 inches, and which is about, where's my ruler? I had measurements and they've flown away on me. So 3 inches, which is about 7.5 centimeters by 6 is about 15 centimeters. So that's the size of this tag. And I'm going to mount the back onto just some coffee dyed paper. So it gives us some journaling space at the back there. This is, as you can see, it's from a dog food box. So, and it's got a shiny surface. So what I like to do with the shiny surface, just so that I know my glue is going to attach to there, stick to there, is I use a little bit of sandpaper. You've probably seen me use it before. And I just give a light sand to get rid of that shine. It's a bit like preparing the walls in your house for a new coat of paint. You want to sand the surface off the old paint first. You don't have to go all the way back to the bare wall, just enough so that it gets rid of some of that shine off there. As you can see, there's a little bit of shine left, but it's enough there for the glue to stick, to be sure. to be sure. And then I made this. This is just some copy paper, and with the printing on there, I splattered with coffee dye, and I just folded it over here, the width, and then it was too long, so instead of cutting it off, I just folded up the bottom. And then to give some contrast, I folded this flap back so the lighter colour shows through. And I've got some roses there, which roses and poppies are about the theme of the journal. So that will pop back in there. So when you open up, you'll be able to see that. And we've got lots of journaling space on this one. So I'll attach that to the card. And then this panel here is just some scraps of paper that I had in my stash. They had torn edges already, so I just inked them up, glued them together. There's 3 panels, 3 or 2? 2 panels, sorry, because this, I'm going to glue this, this bottom part here, I didn't put the paper on because that will be glued onto this panel, so you won't see that, but you will see the top. So I put a backing on there. So this will glue onto there, and then this flap will come down, and then you can open it up. So you've got lots of journaling space. So that's how that goes. And then I've got this little birdie. See, we've got a flower there. I have a little birdie hanging around. And then this little quote here, I thought it was very appropriate after my week, is live for today. A very appropriate sentiment for this week. So that will go on there. I will glue all that together, and then we'll come back and show you how that looks. But in the meantime, I'll just go through all these tags first. And oh, this one here, this is another little tag. I've actually got 6 tags. This is a little tag. It actually comes off a garment. These 2 little tags put together and the string. And I just backed it with some coffee dye paper. And excuse me, and I just put a flower on there. That was out of the freebie kit too. I just cut it out. And I cut a little frame out and put it on the front. And there's a little owl. He's got a scarf and a little cap on. And on the back of it, it had "I'm an individual." And I can't remember the name. Mambo is the brand name. Mambo, M-A-M-B-O. And it had "I'm an individual" and something down. I think it had the label Mambo underneath. So it just sparked off a funny thought in my head. So I got a bird, and here's the other one that was the right size. So there's a little owl, and he's got a little cap on and a little scarf. So that just tickled my fancy. So that's my little impromptu tag that I made this morning, just to cheer myself up. So that's that part. This one here, again, is the same size as the other one, is the 3x6, and this time I put some decorative paper on the back, with a bit of ribbon trim at the back because it wasn't quite long enough. On the front here, I've used it with my card as a pocket. So I've got some music paper at the back, and I made a pocket here on the front. And then on the bottom here, I had some scraps of scraps of fabric, and I just mounted on some stiff fabric at the back here. And this here has a little hidden tuck spot too, and I just opened this little flap. I was going to sew it down, and I thought, no, why don't I leave it open, and then I can tuck something in there. You can have some sort of little memento. What can you put in there? You could put a little card, or you could put some jewelry, or something in there. I can't think of anything at the moment, but I'm sure you'll find something you can tuck in there to keep hidden. Some little treasure, just as a little keepsake. So that I sewed around the edges, and then I just glued this little eyelash trim on the bottom almost. So I'm going to put that on the bottom there, glue that onto the bottom, just for something different. So that will become a pocket. So you have a double pocket. So they're very different. Double pockets and a little hidden tuck spot. And you could also put a pocket on the back if you like, but I think you can only have so many pockets, and then it gets a bit too bulky. And then at the top here, I punched a hole at the top, and I'm not bothering with some eyelets or anything like that. I'm just going to, I'll show you what I'm going to do with this one. seeing I've got it here, I may as well show you right now. And tuck that in, thread that through, I should say, some pretty ribbon. And then I'm using the eyelash trim to tie a knot around it, just to make it a little bit different, and it ties in with the bottom eyelash. So I'm always thinking of, when I'm making the tags, it can be a bit daunting, you know, what do you make with the tags, or what kind of tags do you make? And I always go back guiding. There are several things that I use. I use the theme of the journal, the color scheme, and the things and elements that I put in the journal. So I just repeat them, like with the berries here. I've got that on the cover, so I repeat it again. I find elements that will match and or complement things. You know, you got his little owl that complements the season, though he's getting dressed up for autumn, and there's a spring. So that's, as I said before, you probably know by now, I'm combining the two seasons together, so that kind of represents those two seasons together, I guess. So that's there, and then I just have to glue that onto there, and then that card's finished. And I'm not decorating it any further because you're going to have your little you can be journal cards or photos or anything, then go fit in there, so that will take up that. And I'll put that aside. This tag here is 3.5 inches by 6 inches, or 9 centimeters by 15, and this is what my process was. I wanted a little flip out, but I had, because this is the red color, is the color scheme, part of the color scheme for this journal, but I wanted it to be less glossy, and in my attempt to be less glossy, it didn't work, and then just destroyed the image, I thought. So I didn't like it anymore. I decided to discard that one and find something else, and I come up with this one. So this is a little flip out here, and I decided to put a little birdie on here instead, and use some of that leaf paper that I had. And these little berries here, or little buds I should say, were the wrong color. They were white, so I just colored them in to suit the color scheme, to match the color scheme. I did put a little bit of gold on his wings, not too much, because I didn't want to go overboard. So that's a little flip out, and I was going to tear some holes in various spots here. I had some bark I had behind that I got out of a magazine, you know, bark of a tree, and I had that on the back, and I was going to have the tree trunk poking through in different places. But then I found this little nest of eggs, and because I had this, I wanted this on the front. My idea of poking holes in different areas didn't really work, so I changed tact, and I just tore out, this was a spare spot up here with no leaves on it, so I thought this would be a great place to put a bird's nest. So, and here's little birdie, that's her nest. She's got gold because she's a female bird, and I wanted her to have some colour. You know, the boys can't have all the fun. That's sort of done there. And here's the dog food box at the back there. This is what's going to go on the back panel, so for some journal space. And then on the front here, underneath, I want to put this down and this like that. Ribbon will go across there, and I was going to have a little sentiment there, and I'm going to make this little tuck spot here, and to keep it all together, before I put the back panel on, I'm going to wrap this wool around here to keep it closed as a closure, like that. And that's that tag there. Done there. So that's my process of how I come up with the ideas of making these tags. There's loads of ideas out there. This is just 5 or 6 of mine. You know, you're only limited by your imagination. I seem to say that a lot, but it's true. whatever you can come up with, have a bit of fun. Don't worry about making mistakes. If it doesn't work out, you can, I can cover that up and still use it, so it's not totally wasted. You might like that look. I don't particularly. So that's, it's your, remember when you're doing all this, it's your journal, so you can do whatever you want, and instead of me waffling on, I'll go ahead and I'll glue all the elements down. I'll come back and show you what it looks like. What they look like, I should say. I finished all the tags, so I'll give you a quick flip through of them, and then I'll show you where I'm going to put these in my journal. You see this one you saw before, all complete, the little tuck spots there and the hidden journaling space here. So that was that one, and this one here was a little bit of fun with the coffee cup front and a leaf. As I said before, you don't have to have the typical edging on a tag to be a tag. They can be all different shapes and sizes. And this is the little little owl all dressed up for winter in his winter woolies. And this one here is all glued in. So when I showed you with the elements here, so that's tucked in there, and you open this up and you've got all that journaling space there. So that's going to be a lot of fun. Filling all that out, flip it over, and then more journaling space on the back. So that's good value with that one. This one here is a little bird's nest that we got, and just plain paper on the back. And I added this little tie, and this is a little flip out there. And where's my little card here? It's got a little tuck spot down the bottom there, or a little pocket. So that's that one there. So I'll put that one aside, and then this is the last one. And as you saw before, it's got a pocket there, and now it's got a pocket here. If I don't, I've been waiting for it to dry, and I didn't test it. Oh, that's fine. It's open, and this is just need a thicker piece of paper to put in there than that one, so that tucks in there properly. And so you've got two tuck spots there, and just that on the back, something different. So I'll put them in the journal where they're supposed to go. So I'll start off with the try tag, and got it going here somewhere quickly. Here. So I put it in here, thought it'd go nicely with the reds in there, and then this one, little coffee cup, I put at the back here, and this tuck spot here, make sure the butterfly's facing the front, and then the what do you got next? This one here, live for today. I made this little flip out here with a side pocket, so this one can slide into the side pocket. When you make these pockets, then you've got to train them, because the paper does stretch, so you just got to train it to take all these items, all your little tags and your journal cards, and then the little owl. Here we got a little flip out, and I thought I'd slide him in here, and then close that up, and he can sit on the top there, and he can check out my mood for the day. Maybe you want to go and hide some days if I'm not in a terribly good mood. So that's him there. And then the bird's nest one, I better tie this up. And so this would be a perfect place, leaf on leaf. It's a bit matchy, but I don't mind that. And then it just leaves this one. So this one can pop into the back here. I did the same on the back cover, made this flip out with the side pocket, so he can pop into there, sit at home, and that's it. So that's all. This one's getting pretty full, so I've got a few pages to go, but it's certainly getting very full and chunky, and just as well I like that. And before I finish today, I just want to let you know about the Facebook group I've just set up. I wanted to, create a safe and fun place where you get the opportunity to share what you've been creating from watching my videos. You always get to see what I make in these videos, but I don't get to see what you make. If you've been crafting along with me, or if you tried out some of my tutorials, I'd love to. It's important to have that feedback, and I love to see what you've done and to promote it and to encourage you to go and join my Facebook group. I have been offering, this is the challenge for this month of March, and in the, I don't know, it was the last video, the video before, I showed you how I made this tag. So, and this is the freebie file that I am offering as an incentive for you to join my Facebook group. I will leave a link in the description box below where you can download this freebie, and don't worry, you won't need a permission when you get there on the site. And also leave a link to my Facebook group down below, so I encourage you to go and join that. Then if you create something with it, you don't have to create a tag. You can create a journal card, or maybe you come up with some other idea with how to use these images. And then once you do finish the challenge, then to upload your photos onto the Facebook group and share your ideas. And if you enjoyed today's video, please give it a thumbs up, and think about subscribing to my channel and joining my Facebook group. I've also got a Pinterest page and all those lovely things. As I progress on with my channel, I will be introducing new things all the time. So please come back and check up on what's new. And so that's all for today. That's your lot for today. So I hope everyone has a happy crafty day, and I will see you in the next video. Bye everyone. Take care.